Good evening. Making the headlines on Mello TV Evening News at 8. National minimum wage to increase from $9,000 to $13,000 for a 40-hour work week starting June 1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness authorizes the Hart NSTA Trust to waive all tuition requirements for courses up to associate degrees. And 2 men were shot, one fatally, by an unknown assailant on Windward Road earlier today. And now the details. In his presentation during the 2023-24 budget debate in Parliament, Prime Minister Andrew Holness yesterday announced a 44% rise in the national minimum wage, which would increase from $9,000 for a 40-hour work week to $13,000 for a 40-hour work week as of June 1, 2023, the biggest increase in 20 years.
Madam Speaker, since assuming office in 2016, the minimum wage has increased from $6,200 to $13,000. So this administration has increased the minimum wage by 110% in 7 years. Cumulative inflation over the period, cumulative inflation over the same period was less than 50%. And even in US dollars, it represents a 66% increase in the minimum wage. The government has done more. This government, the Andrew Holness-led administration, your government, our government, has done more than any previous government to create prosperity for Jamaica and Jamaicans. And we are proud to share the gains with all Jamaicans.
Additionally, the Prime Minister declared that beginning on June 1, 2023, the weekly minimum wage for industrial security guards will grow from $10,500 to $14,000.
The minimum wage for industrial security guards will move from $10,500 per week to $14,000 per week. Madam Speaker, this will also take effect from June 1, 2023. I want to just make a footnote here, Madam Speaker. You will notice that the differential between the national minimum wage and the minimum wage for the security guards has been narrowed. Only $1,000 separate them now. The next time we come to increase the minimum wage, that differential will be removed. The purpose of the differential was to account for the special circumstances of the security guards. Now, basically, the security guard is a worker, so an employee, and therefore is covered by the same legal standards. And therefore, the need for a differential no longer exists.
Still tonight, in order to provide thousands of Jamaicans with the chance to get skills training in a range of fields, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has authorized the Hart NSTA Trust to waive all tuition requirements for courses up to associate degrees. Additionally, 500 promising 5th and 6th form graduates who have not matriculated to further study will receive a special internship through Hart's partnership with the Ministry of Education's Hope Legs program, the Prime Minister announced.
In furtherance of the policy directive to increase the size of the trained labor force effective April 1, 2023, the Hart NSTA Trust will remove all tuition and administrative fees from its programs effective April 1, 2023, the Hart NSTA Trust will remove all tuition and administrative fees from its programs up to level 4, which is an associate degree. This will allow for access to vocational training for all Jamaicans, regardless of economic status. This will be a game changer. This will be a game changer for poor, underserved youth who see fees as an obstacle for their participation in formal training.
Over 1 year after the controversial practices at the Pathways International Restoration Church were exposed, the building has been vacant for over a year and has been turned into a sanctuary for thieves. This has prompted residents of Albion and the surrounding community to demand that it be converted into a police station. Reports coming into our news center are that the area is extremely deserted at night, and the abandoned church is reportedly being utilized by robbers and gunmen as a hiding place, as well as a place to store illicit weapons. This according to numerous taxi operators that work along that route who spoke to Mello TV News. According to the locals, the Barnett Street and Montego Hills police stations are both too far away from their area, and turning the site into a police station will lessen the recent increase in crime in and around that area. Continuing with the news tonight, the National Housing Trust, NHT, is launching a new interest rate band for anyone making more than $100,000 per week, raising the loan ceiling for a single application by $1 million. The adjustments, according to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, are being made to encourage housing developments that offer low-income earning individuals affordable options.
Single applicant will be increased to $7.5 million. Up from $6.5 million. It's a 15% increase. But I wanted I want the listeners and potential homeowners to pay attention to this part of the increase. Madam Speaker, in 2022, the NHT reintroduced its policy to allow up to 3 contributors to co-apply for a single NHT housing scheme unit, but that unit would have to be 2 bedrooms or larger to better improve affordability. A key provision of this policy is that proof must be established that the applicants are bona fide family members and have demonstrable kinship ties, for example, your wives or husbands, children, and siblings. In light of the proposed revised loan limits, the 3 co-applicants will be able to access funding of up to $21 million, up from $19 million.
Reporting on crime now in Kingston, 2 men were shot, one fatally by an unknown assailant or assailants on Windward Road, Kingston 2 earlier today. The deceased, who remains unidentified, is of dark complexion, slim build, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and has a bearded face. The body was clad in a blue t-shirt, gray jeans, black socks, and a foot of blue and white Puma sneakers. Reports from the Elliston Road Police coming into our news center are that at about 2:15 a.m., they were alerted to explosions heard in the area. The men were found with multiple gunshot wounds. They were assisted to the hospital, where the unidentified man was pronounced dead and the other man admitted in serious condition. Meanwhile, anyone that is able to assist the police to identify the body of the deceased is being asked to contact the Elliston Road Police at 876-928-4200, Police Emergency 119, or the nearest police station. As we continue with tonight's news, a correctional officer has been charged with murder stemming from the death of Darren Brown while he was in custody at the Tower Street Correctional Center on July 4, 2020. 34-year-old Andre Morris was charged following a ruling from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, ODPP. Reports coming into our news center are that Morris, along with another officer, inflicted several blows to Brown, resulting in his death. A file was prepared and sent to the ODPP. The ruling was returned for him to be charged. An arrest warrant was executed on Morris yesterday. He was immediately placed before the court and was granted bail. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matthew Samuda, is urging residents in and around Maca Hill to refrain from stealing water from the National Water Commission's network. Mr. Samuda was speaking at the commissioning ceremony for the Maca Hill Pipeline Replacement Project in St. Mary on Wednesday, March 15. As part of the $31 million investment, the NWC replaced 3.5 kilometers of transmission and distribution pipelines and installed insulation and air valves. Now, this project has provided improved access to water supply for approximately 1,000 persons in Maca Hill, Borey Road, Belfield, and its environs. The Member of Parliament for Southeastern St. Mary, Dr. Norman Dunn, noted that the project is a step in the right direction, and he is hopeful that more persons in his constituency will eventually receive better water supply. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shellyan Hill. Do stay safe. Pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.